The topic of this video is how important is your first impression? Does first impression matter? Yes, of course. First impression is definitely very important because it is very difficult to change very first perception of people, event or other objectives. It is scientifically proved that you get the first impression of a person in the first few seconds. Sometimes it is completely right, sometimes it is completely wrong. The fact is that the first impression is always made by appearance. What should one do to make good first impression? And is it as vital as it is said to be? People perception about you do matter. You are all judged by people through what you say and how you say. You are also judged by how you dress, how you eat your food, and even how you walk. In the work environment, you judge people by the size of their office, the location of their office, the name of the company, or by the number of people working under them. Your company is judged by the way your receptionist answers the telephone or receive people at the door. In my experience, I observed that a business meeting or a job interviewer will probably decide whether or not they like you within minutes of your meeting, and then spend the rest of the business meeting or interview simply confirming their decision. It might seem unfair that people from such a firm assessment of you in such a short time and think that these snap impressions are bound to be faulty. Yet, dozens of studies have shown that first impressions are actually highly accurate in gauging a person's true personality and abilities. It turns out you can actually judge a book by its cover after all. Our society is becoming more and more image based. The single greatest influence on a first impression of someone is physically appearance. People make assumptions about you based on what you look like, what you are wearing, and the sum of the other little details like clothes, hair, nails, shoes, smell, enthusiasm, and posture. Impressions, valuations, and decisions are made within seconds even before you have opened your mouth to speak. Understand the power of first impression will help you to make it better and understand that sometimes it does not depend on you. So, do not judge people. Give them second chance. Although it is hard to change your opinion about someone, try to meet a person from the inside, not only from the outside. Sometimes outside may be very deceptive. Studies shows that 38% of a person's first impression is determined by tone of voice. First impressions are formed within 7 to 17 seconds of meeting someone. 55% of a first impression is what you wear, how you act, and how you walk through the door. 26% of interviews have a weak handshake, and only 7% of your first impression is the words you say. According to an old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. is used often because it is very true. When meeting someone for the first time, how you act and what you say has a considerable effect on the other person in viewing and judging who you actually are. It can set the tone for the rest of the conversation. You must not only sell the other person that you have to offer is valuable, but you must also create an impression that you can deliver that item. Once you create the positive impression, you are considered a valuable and even important person. You have just a few seconds to make a good first impression, and it is almost impossible, if ever, to change it. So, it is worth giving each new encounter your best shot. Much of what you need to do to make a good impression is common sense, but with a little extra thoughts and preparation, you can groom your natural style and make every first impression not just good but great. First impressions are not actually that hard if you know what you are doing, provided you put yourself together well. Bear in mind who you are meeting and focus on being yourself. You will do just fine. You have everything it takes to succeed, including making a great first impression. Thanks for watching this video. Now, go make those great first impressions.